Hey everybody, welcome back. We are going back into the Animus. Yeah, some weird stuff going on in the real world there. Not sure we want to be hanging around there too much. So yeah, it seems to. So this Juno is that blue woman we saw in the server room of Abstergo there, and it looks like her and the Sage are obviously linked quite heavily there. Well, he clearly loves her. Don't know if it's reciprocated.
How do you find it here?
It will work for us, but our goal must be to scatter our operations, to live and work among the people we protect, just as Altair Ben La'ad once counseled.
Well, until that time, it's yours as you see fit.
Edward, Captain Woods Rogers survived his wounds. He has since returned to England, shamed and in great debt, but no less a threat.
I will finish that job when I return. You have my word. Evening, Anne.
Edward?
I'll be sailing for London in the next few months. I'd be a hopeful man if you were beside me.
England's the wrong way around the globe for an Irishwoman.
Will you stay with the assassins?
No, I haven't got that kind of conviction in my heart. You?
In time, aye. When my mind is settled and my blood is cooled.
Sail ho! Coming into the cove!
That looks like a British flag.
You're a good man, Edward. And if you learn to keep settled in one place for more than a week, you'll make a fine father too.
Really? She's picking that chubby guy over me? Ah, he's a guitar player. Fair enough.
I spent it in good company, and all the harm that e'er I've done. Alas, it was to none but me, and all I've done for want of wit to memory now I can't. So that parting glass, good night and joy be with you all.
Oh, that's must have what's been in the letter. Oh.
I had their sorry for my going
Well,
and all
I love this game. It's I don't know what it is. I've never, well, I've played two open world games on the sea. This and the Wind Waker, and I love them both. I don't know about it. Just seems like a different type of exploration on the water than on land. I'm not really sure why. It's a difficult one to explain. I think it seems more free, you know, and more, well, for lack of a better word, more open. It's just the same in all directions, but moving and alive, and you never know what's just over the horizon. So where to start? Let's start with the story. The story in this game, yeah, it was okay. I mean, I don't think it was anything that spectacular. Mainly because we spent.
Father, did you always know how to sail a boat?
Hold on a minute.
The Jackdaw is a ship, Jenny. Not a boat.
But did you always know?
No. No, I learned after leaving Bristol.
After you left Mother?
Well, I didn't leave your... I didn't leave without saying goodbye, that is. It was an arrangement, you see, between your mother and me.
She said you left there. She said you always talked about sailing a boat and making money in the New World.
Which I did.
Always want to sail a ship. That's true. But not for a lark. To support us. And take care of her. And you.
Not me. Mother said you didn't know about me. She said you worked only once a year and that she never knew where to find you.
That's all true, and I'm sorry for that. If I'd known earlier, I might have come home. I hope that I would have.
Well, you were busy. That's what I think.
I was, but that wouldn't have mattered.
Can I steer your boat?
Ship.
Boat? I see no boat here. Do you?
I mean ship, obviously. I don't see the difference anyway.
Ah, it's a very simple one, Jenny. A ship can carry a boat, but a boat cannot carry a ship.
Why then, everything is a ship. Large and small. But for my toy boat, the one I take into the bath with me.
That's a clever way of seeing it. Is it hard to talk about Caroline, Jenny? About your mother?
No. She passed some years ago. I miss her, but it's all right.
Was she in pain?
I don't know. I don't think so. She was very happy for quite some time. Then, not so happy. I didn't see her much after that. Then, she was gone.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry I wasn't there for you.
It's all right. You're here now. And we're on an adventure.
Only a little one, I hope. Can't handle too many more surprises.
Do you think we'll see a whale?
Yes, there's a very good chance.
And what about pirates? Will I see pirates?
No. Not much chance of that, I think.
Oh, that's rather sad. I should have liked to have seen one.
Tell you what, Jenny. As soon as these winds die a little, I'll let you steer the Jackdaw. One little trick of the helm before sundown.
Yay!
Yeah, so that... Oh, well done. Yeah, no chance.
Miss Jennifer Kenway, may I introduce myself?
Jennifer Scott, if you please.
I'm sorry,
My daughter was raised by her mother, Caroline, until she passed away some years ago. Jenny prefers to use her surname to mine.
Please forgive my ignorance.
I will. She may not.
Father, help me.
This little rascal, however, is a Kenway. What's wrong, Hafen?
I can't see the stage.
Up we go. How's that?
Fine. But won't your arms tire?
Hey, I'm not so old as that. But if they do, then we shall quit this posh gig and go and meet your mother for some chocolate and whites. How's that sound?
Yes, please.
Okay, hush now.
Yeah. So the story was fine, you know. I don't think it wasn't anything special, but I think that's because even though there are a lot of cool characters in there, like you know, Blackbeard and Thatch and people like that, well, that was Thatch, I suppose. We don't really actually spend much time with them, really. You know, I mean, we'd see them for a little cutscene or whatever, and have a bit of chit chat, and then we'd be off on our own again, sailing around the seas. I think that was it lacked a bit of real real interaction, you know, to really build up those relationships there. I really did feel like a very solo adventure. But still, the story for me in this game was always going to take second place. The best thing about this was the gameplay itself. The ship battles were fantastic. I loved the ship battles. How you can so all of a sudden be from, you know, firing your broadside cannons into a man of war to be swinging from a rope and you're straight into fighting on a deck and climbing up a mast. It was brilliant, great fun. It never got boring at all. And that's to the point where, you know, sometimes it was a bit disappointing to have to go back on land, because the running around the cities, although it was good, and I expect a large part of it was because of my less than perfect use of the controls. They're a bit sticky and a bit difficult to navigate at speed exactly where you want, which is a hard thing to do. And I mean, the thing with holding the R2 trigger down to do the free running, I suspect you need to manipulate that between having it fully pressed down to be in full free run mode and only partially held down to be more of a natural kind of run. It's difficult to do on the fly when you're looking at where you want to go, if you're tailing someone or whatever. So that was a bit tricky, and you saw it, you know, sometimes you just get stuck on random things and everything like that, but because of the scale of it, and this is an old game, let's not forget, was it 2013, 2014, something like that. So, you know, in that regard, it was well done. And as I mentioned, going through I know all the collectibles can be seen as kind of busy work, and yeah, most of them are, to be honest. But I don't know. I still find it enjoyable doing that, collecting all those and checking them off and things like that. And had I more time, I would probably go through all this. I mean, I think we got a decent amount of the extra stuff. As for side quests, well, I wouldn't say there really were any real side quests. I mean, yeah, we had the Templar hunts and finding the Mayan stele, but they didn't really add anything to the story. That's not how I think side quests were done. It was just more collectibles, but with a more tangible reward at the end. You know, the new gear, which was cool. And I mentioned before how I think that even the new gear should have the assassin's hood. I mean, or at least take out the animations. That kind of was a bit jarring for me. I didn't really like that too much. So that's, yeah, the overarching story of the Assassin's Creed thing, I think is a good one. It could be potentially very, very interesting and fulfilling, but I think it's been stretched over too many games now. I mean, I'm sure there is a running thread through it, but I think in this, you know, in the modern world, this should have been done in a trilogy. I think a trilogy of bigger games than this. I mean, it felt like a big game, but I mean, the map size was relatively small. Actually, it wasn't really huge, and you end up, well, yeah, I mean, that map size could have been interesting, but maybe they could have expanded a bit more on Africa, or we could have done a trip back to Britain or to Spain or whatever, something like that, to make the world feel a bit bigger. I think that would have been a good thing. But I mean, anyway, the parts of the story where we came back into the real world, came out of the Animus, were fine, you know, but they felt a bit, well, yeah, they kind of felt a bit shoehorned in, really. And to be really getting into well, being an assassin, well, not being an assassin, but being a pirate, going around, and then you're kind of yanked out, and there's this other story going on that has no real bearing on the Black Flag adventure, you know. It's just an extra bit that I don't think really adds to it, and I'm not really sure it's that necessary. I think perhaps that's the type of stuff, if they wanted to do that the stuff in the real world would have been better as a additional DLC or something like that for the people who are into playing the whole series and following the threads going through all of them. I think that would have been a better way to do it, and just had this as just a pirating adventure. From what I understand, though, this is a bit of a different one in the sense that we weren't actually an assassin for the vast majority of the game. We were very much self-centered and just doing our own thing, and happened to just have an assassin's gear, which I liked, you know, but it also made the whole thing between assassin and Templars so, well, we're not really a part of it. This is other people, we're not really bothered, we're just gonna kill whoever we want. It wasn't really till the end where we sort of, you know, well, they did that bit well, where they had his retrospective, but he had his crash, when Mary died, and it all got a bit much, and then the realization that all the people he liked and loved had all sort of died around him. And then the last what was it, hour and a half, 2 hours when we're actually on board with the assassins, I think they should have extended that before, or had that moment a little earlier in the narrative to do that a bit more. Because I liked the working with the assassins and doing more stuff like that. It would have been nice if we could have, I don't know, dismantled the Templar empire in the Caribbean there, instead of just hopping from place to place and killing all the people that we hadn't killed so far. But that's not to take away from any of it. Overall, I still thoroughly enjoyed this game, and it's well, ever since I first played it years and years ago, it's always been one of those ones where I thought, yeah, I really like to play that again. And I don't do that very often. I very rarely actually play a game all the way through a second time. I much prefer. It's the same with books and movies. I struggle to read the same book again or watch the same movie again. But this one, because of how fun it was sailing around and boarding ships and discovering and doing the treasure hunts, I really enjoyed those. Actually, I'm a bit annoyed that I missed 3 of them. I think. Can't think where they were. I thought we pretty much went everywhere, but I don't know. I have to look into it. And that was great. And yeah. I really enjoyed playing this game, and I hope you enjoyed watching this too. Now I think we're just gonna let the credits roll and see if there's anything else. Holy moly, a lot of people worked on this game. Oh, and we're not done. Yeah, 2013, there we go, okay. No real pilots were harmed in the making of this game, yeah, sure. Huh. So, what? We did all of these. Well, those did all these though, and all the Mayan stelae. What the hell? Oh, maybe that's like showing where they are. What does that say? Congratulations, you finished the game. New relic, portrait, emblem, and title unlocked for the multiplayer. Okay, folks. Yeah. I would love to do more stuff. Still no white whale. Damn you, Ubisoft. But I'm afraid, it's goodbye from the Jackdaw. It's goodbye from him. It's goodbye from me. Take it easy, guys.